Okay, so first check. Right. Kyle, I can make you the presenter, but yeah. Are you able to put the screen on? I don't know how this has happened. Sorry about this. So this is going to be one of the best webinars of the whole session, but we just got to get your screen working. Right, Kyle. Right, let me see. Right, I got it. Don't worry. Cool. Kyle, I will call needed. Right, can you all see my screen now? It should be the black. How to make money online, negotiate, and sell in 2017. Let me know you can see it, and then we're jumping right in. Kyle, what we saying? Can you see my screen? All right, we're in. All right, thank you for waiting. Right, oh my days. I'm so excited to give you this course. All right, hold on, Kyle, mute you. Or mute yourself. Yeah. Right, Kyle, you are now muted for now. I may call on you. Okay, cool. So I wanted you guys to get this webinar now because, to a certain extent, everything else I give you will matter less than this. Because this is what we're here to do. Ultimately, as good as any of us are at copywriting, creating content, social media, we got to be great at selling. So I created this guide, which is full of practical examples. I looked at what you guys wanted the most from me, and it's all in here. Webinar. Have you seen my or the webinar? Not this. I want to start with a bang, and money makes business enjoyable, not stressful. There's a big difference when things are going up and things are going down. Just like the emotion and spirit is amazing. So this may be the busiest week, just so you know. This may be the busiest webinar I do. So let's jump right in. So what the hell gives me the right to give this webinar? So about me, so when I was at Planet Ivy, I did worldwide brand deals with Vice, the billion-dollar company, and American Apparel. This was in 2012 when they were, a public company and doing really well. So I got worldwide banners from them, I worked with Vice, and then got lots of other smaller brand deals. I raised 2 rounds of funding for my startup, almost so negotiating, selling. 6 figures made in my first year running a copywriting agency, 2014. 6 figures made in my first year running a growth hacking agency, 2015. 19 paying clients in my first month running a coaching business in 2015. And also growth hacking consulting clients, like 5 figures. 6 figures made in pre-orders for my first book, 2016. Self-booked 100-date speaking tour. And 6 figures made in my first 6 months running an internet marketing business, so ebooks, coaching, consulting, and so on. So yeah, I don't normally put this stuff in my talks because for whatever reason, speaking about money makes everyone feel awkward. And again, I'm not putting this to impress you, but to impress on you what is possible if you use these techniques. So we're going to jump into loads and loads of different things you can do in order to scale up. But honestly, my fear with, because I've coached a lot of people, I've given out a lot of information, is you guys watch it, you love it, you get inspired, then you don't do all that much. Yeah, I really want you guys to do lots with this. And it's always overwhelming, especially when it comes to sales, because none of us are natural-born salespeople. Before I launch companies, like everyone's going, oh, what were you doing before you did Planet Ivy? And they expect, I don't know, I worked for Accenture or some big company or something. I was doing telesales because I couldn't find anything else to do that would like pay me anything, and I got fired from every telesales job I had. So people aren't really born natural salespeople, and especially if you look at me now and you think, you've got a lot of confidence. I wasn't a natural, but my why, since being on welfare has always been so strong. So I want you guys to have your why set out before you go how to make money. And it may sound like a bit of a left turn and very woo and airy fairy, but for me, I get to listen to my favorite music all day, and I'm my own boss. I constantly travel the world, just finished a 100-day world tour. I grow my brand in ways most people can't, so I can do high-touch meetings and talks worldwide from LA, New York, Europe. I've made handshake connections with big people that you can't unless you have working capital. I give my niece money. I can give my family money. I haven't had money worries for years now. I could take 2 years off easy and live off savings and probably have more because of my funnel now. I've decided to reinvest lots and hired a team without needing venture capital investment to produce passive income, so a long-term empire via my website. I'm fulfilling my lifetime dream of moving to America very soon. So again, this is not me showing off. These are like things that get me super excited. I want you guys to pause for 1 minute and write down why you want to make this money. Your why will drag you through the hard times and past procrastination, which is going to happen. There's going to be stress. You're going to muck things up. Your website go on break. So yeah, so just take 1 minute now and just write down why you want to make this money. And then, yeah, I will carry on. But I think it's really important. Be honest with yourself. What is it for your family? Is it you want to buy a certain thing? Do you want to travel? Just spend the next minute writing down why you want to make this money, and it will make a lot more sense as we go through this hour. All right, let's slide back in. Is it wrong to not have a financial reason to my why? Yeah, exactly. That's why I put in things like listening to my favorite music all day and traveling. Yeah, there's nothing to do with money there, and none of the stuff on my list are things. It's kind of experiences and yeah, like fun stuff. But yeah, so having a why is crucial. Okay, so mindset is again more important than any of the strategies here. If you have a mindset for psychological sales, you will find ways to make money. Far less constrained by the rules of platform like social networks. There's many different styles of selling, so no natural born salesman. As mentioned, I was fired from pretty much every sales job I had before I started Planet Ivy. So as always, yes, Suzanne, to be able to travel the world, see my friends about having a way of generating an income. Yeah, that's awesome, and being full on with this is an amazing way of doing that. So, as ever, I start these sessions by going into the theory and just give you some things to think about before we get into the meat and the systems. Now, one book I recommend everyone in this group reads is Wealth Creation by Dan Kennedy. I've included probably way too many paragraphs just in this slide deck because everything he writes is so powerful. So, firstly, I know a lot of people in this are quite early to sales. So the queasiness about price, about who somebody is selling to, about their ability to pay, and about their ability to afford it is deadly. The truth is, anytime you start to make those decisions for other people, it really reflects more about what's going on internally with you than it does about anything else. Don't prejudge people. Let each person you talk to decide what is best for them. So this in practice means, oh, like, no one wants what I have. Look, I put it out there, no one bought it. You know, it stops you from doing it over and over. I can tell you, of every launch I've ever done, I've got it out multiple times. A few people are going to be saying, oh, you sent that email before. I've seen your email 2 or 3 times. Yes, but they work. So never let other people decide, you know, for you. This is a bit of a dark example, and I kind of cut it from my live talks, but there's a morale in here. In the 80s, there's a guy selling fire alarms, and fire alarms were like $2,000 when they first came out. So he was selling it door to door, and he goes into this house, and the guy's like, yeah, I'm really interested. So he comes in, and like the floor has no carpet, the kids barely have clothes, and he's like, oh God, they have no money. So like he sits down and starts telling him about it, and I go, yes, I definitely want one. And he's like, look, I'm going to do the good thing here. Look, I'm not going to try and sell this to you. Look, you know, you guys have other things you need. Yeah, like, I don't think this is right for you, sorry. And then the guy's like, no, I really want to buy them. You know, we'll find a way, we'll do a payment plan. The guy's like, no. So the salesman leaves and reads the next day, there was a fire and everyone in the family house died because he didn't sell them that. Zig Ziglar has a story where he was selling pots and pans, and again, he went to a house with no money. He was like, no, I can't sell to you. You guys need, you know, basics, food, heating. And the woman and the guy's like, no, my wife, to feel confident in herself, wants good pots and pans, and like chase them down the road to buy it. That's a kind of extreme example, but never ever make a decision for your audience about what they can buy. 10% to 20% always have more money, even if you're in a niche which doesn't have much money, like startups. Number 2, it's a big mistake for you to accept any part of the suggestion that money's tight or hard to get, that your customers don't have money or won't spend it. People have money for the things they want to spend money on. So the example is people live on council estates, ghettos, projects, buying booze and cigarettes. They don't need those things, but they want them. So if you can find the things people want, they will always find a way. Dan talks about, if you don't do well financially in America, it's due to utter ignorance of opportunity or choice. It's definitely not due to lack of opportunity, especially in the internet age. And, you know, I am the emblem of that. I had no money and built it out of my bedroom. And there's many stories like me that came out of working in a garage, Apple and so on. You don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. The more value you bring to the marketplace, the more money you make. Things like coaching and consulting have no market value. You make up your own worth. Just be aware of price elasticity, which is how much you can change price without turning too many people off. So, for instance, we increased one of our ebooks from $37 to $44 and saw the same conversion rate. Now, if the conversion rate had gone down, we might not have raised it so much. But yeah, so we will probably try and raise it a bit more and see what the elasticity is. So always be thinking about how you can up your prices. Money has no moral conscience. It's neither good nor bad. So it goes to pornographers the same way it goes to priests. So it's what we do with it that counts. So if you try and attach ideas of right and wrong to money, this too will hold you back. If you think you should be financially rewarded because you're honest, hardworking, and kind to old people and pets, you're in for a very disappointed life. To make money, you must produce results and bring value to the marketplace. So good enough is not good enough. Enough money to take care of your family over a long period you need to be excellent and nothing less. You know, most of our parents, possibly everyone on this call, you know, their parents work really hard and they just don't manage to buy a house, and then that's it, they're set. But they work long hours for a very long time. Too often, achievement, accomplishment, and ambition are defined as greed. There's nothing wrong with wanting more out of life. It's okay to be selfish and worry about your own success. Greed is attempting to get something for nothing to take without exchange. All deals should be mutually beneficial for both parties so it can be a win-win transaction. So yeah, both sides should feel like they're win. Sometimes there are times when you can charge more and you can take the piss, but you shouldn't. When we started a copywriting agency, I tried to charge these ridiculous rates, and then we got one client. It was like £250 for an article. We were like, yeah, we can do this, and then like it was very hard for us to close more clients. And then we brought our prices down, and we started to have major passive income, and it worked really well. So don't be greedy. Entrepreneurship is all about opportunism. You make your own opportunities, and that's the whole idea behind growth hacks and the whole idea why we're here. Don't make fear-based business decisions. So taking on bad clients because you're desperate for money. Unless you're really at death's door, you should be able to sniff out, a bad client. So like you set your hourly rate and then you'll guard it with your life. So one thing a lot of you are probably going to face is big, long onboarding calls with clients, trying to convince them they should work with you. This is one thing I started with coaching. And then an hour-and-a-half session to convince this dating app to give me £99 a month for 4 coaching sessions a month. Like, the £99 is already gone by then. So yeah, try not to be desperate and know the difference between a good deal and a bad deal. Take responsibility for anything. Everything that happens in your company is your fault. It is my fault Planet Ivy failed. It's my fault Screen Robot failed. You can't say the market failed, the investors failed us, engineers let us down. Just take full responsibility, and then you can understand what to do to change it. It's definitely harder to make the sale you desperately feel you must make than the sale doesn't matter one way or another. When you don't care if people buy or not, you will make more sales. So something you should do on your sales calls is make them ask for the price 3 times. So when they say how much is it, go, right, we can get into how much it costs, but let's go over what you'll be getting for this. And they go, okay, that sounds good. How much is it? And then just rebuff it, and then they really want you. So feel free to use the questionnaire I sent you guys as a buffer. So I send that to people before they can get on the phone with me in a typical consulting situation. So there are many reasons why I do this. Firstly, it saves you on the call going, right, tell me about your business, and then you've just lost half an hour. They can put all of that in that document. Secondly, you can see what bracket they fit into, how much money they make, thus what you should be pitching them. So you can also automate all of this. So if they only spend £500 a month on consulting, maybe it's your course or your ebook. But if they're making 30 grand a month, then you might want to give them a high-ticket mastermind. So always get them that questionnaire. If you know more about anything than your intended client, you are an expert. It doesn't take much to be an expert. You simply need to know more about something than the person you're talking to knows about it. So 3 things. I had this client last week, and it's the worst client meeting you can imagine. You shake hands with them. They just sort of look at you and they go, right, why are you here? Why should you work for us? And that's it. And then they just shut up. Like, normally you want to go, oh, tell me about your company, so that they tell you first, and then you can sort of, pick into those things. But sometimes they're going to say, yeah, right, tell me about yourself. So in this pitch, and I should do a post on this soon, do the 5 most impressive things that you've ever done, what you believe makes you impressive in the market, write down where you see the future of the industry going, at least 2 parts to it, and give them 3 generic but awesome ideas for whatever the niche is. So for instance, in marketing, I would say build a Facebook group with your community, and then go into that. I would say build a chat bot so you can automate your engagement. And I would say, depending on their niche, you might bring in some automation around LinkedIn scraping. So like futuristic, super practical stuff. So if you can wow them with that, then you have your foot in the door. And also the clients who do that, by the way, if you answer their questions, they are super impressed and super enrolled in hiring you. Get into motion before you're ready. Something my mentor Dan Meredith taught me is imperfect action. There is no perfect time to get started. The time is now. So this is why, again, my project manager has smoke coming out of his ears because the number of mistakes I make. But again, I have all of these projects all smashing it left, right, and center at the same time with a very small team, because as soon as it's ready, we get it out the door. I can write a sales letter in 2 hours if I need to. Should I? No, I should take longer. But building the different parts of what I want to do important. And likewise for your company, if you get it 80% perfect, perfect is only 20% better. So if you start to do lots and lots of these 80%, they stack up really quickly. And again, so like you look at certain people and you think, how do you do it all? Because they're getting it out the door. Every entrepreneur I've read about or seen just executes. Like the LinkedIn founder said, if you're not embarrassed by your first release, it's gone out too late. If poor people knew how shockingly ordinary millionaires were, there'd be a lot more millionaires. And I can attest to this, having gone to the masterminds and so on. The major difference is the way they think. Everybody has ideas or talents, but very few act on them. An idea is useful if it hasn't acted upon. So have a quiet confidence. So everything you're doing, like what I do is you just kind of make a joke of it. Just kind of make a joke like, I'm only really interested in what my business does and how we're going to take over the world. Then people laugh, but on the inside, I kind of mean it. So yeah, having confidence is going to be key as well. And again, you're probably saying, give us the good stuff. It is coming, but I promise you, if you don't have a why, if you don't have confidence, you'll just look at the tactics and you'll go, oh, this looks hard. But these things need to drag you through. So business must be market-driven, not personal joy-driven. So the question I always ask is, how can you be sure you're not smoking crack? Do they need what you have? Never mind whether you can. I have a friend, he has about 150 million followers across his network. That's his secret sauce. And I met him, and he's not a salesperson like me, right? So he doesn't have a public profile, never given a public talk, never been interviewed, never been any public. He has quite a he's popping on one social network, and I can't say which because you might work out who it is. But yeah, he told me about the money he was making from these influencers. It's astonishing, great money. Yeah, like brand deals, the whole lot. And then he tells me he has 2 other companies that are startups that he wants to grow at the same time. And one of them is basically a LinkedIn clone. And I was like, the niche is interesting. It needs to be disrupted. How do you know you're not smoking crack? I said, what do you mean? I was like, how do you know anyone wants what you have? He was like, they definitely do. I'm sure. I was like, how many people have you spoken to? Well, we'll speak to them once it comes out. How long have you been building? 6 months. How much is it costing? All of the money from the agency. The agency alone, would have him on the verge of being a millionaire, but it's slurping up all of the money. You have to speak to your users every day, which is why I'll be recommending building a community. Bigger is not necessarily better. So more gross may produce less net, but also may move you from master to slave before you're realizing it. The net profit is what really matters. Sometimes bigger is better, but not always. What does this mean in practice? You're going to see a lot of Facebook ads for those 6-figure millionaires, and they'll be saying, here's how I made $500,000 in a year. The easy way. They did make $500,000. How much of that did they keep? I'm betting at least half, if not 3/4, is going to go on Facebook ads and other avoidable costs. If they had their own community, if they had a viral effect, that it would be a lot less. So it's far better to quietly make a lot of money than to have huge wins, and then because more things go wrong. I met a founder, and I'd heard of his brand in Silicon Valley. He said, we made $1.1 million last year. I was like, amazing. How much of that is net profit? 10%. 10%. The rest is, Facebook ads. Pretty much all Facebook ads. I was like, so you only have that small margin. So many things can go wrong. You probably need quite a big team to run that. Get the copyright, get the data right, and so on. With our book, it only made, it's only made about $135,000. So the margin's 95%, 5% for Stripe or Kickstarter, and then the rest is ours. So all we think are, what are your net margins, not gross margins. If you know marketing, you're in the ultimate power position. Your product or service is not your business. So if you don't have marketing, there is no product. You can always turn attention, traffic into money. So, the record label venture capital model, they will always come and find you if you have a lot of attention. But it's very hard to turn a good product into traffic. So think about all the apps, startups, no one uses. So yeah, you're not in the business, you're in the marketing business, which is why this stuff you're about to learn is so key. Don't follow the masses, do the opposite. Hacks or big platforms can work, but they should really be a secret sauce. Coming to the end of these tips, most entrepreneurs operate by the seat of their pants without well thought out systems for every aspect of their business. If everything relies on you, it's not a business. And this quote was part of the inspiration of this course. So I'm going to be talking about your Sunday night social media strategy, hiring interns. If you have systems, then you have a business. Otherwise, you have a job. So absolute basics to start yourself. Are you really solving a problem for people? Are you speaking to your customers every day, understanding their mindset, slang, and phrases? For example, my niche will involve any of the below. Watches Gary Vaynerchuk, wants to build a large company, is looking for shortcuts, likes Tim Ferriss, is optimistic, you have to be as an entrepreneur. Main pain point is having no traffic revenue, wants fast results and shortcuts. If I can provide these things, I have a good basic chance of success. That's how well I know my avatar. So it might be a good idea between this and the next session to write about your avatar. But we're going to go into this in more detail, but start thinking about it now. So as mentioned before, have a bias for action. You have a new idea, try it out immediately. Even if you're a complete idiot, you'll eventually hit gold. Your business is bound by your weakest skill, normally sales, which is why I had this session first. If you want to double the amount of money you make, spend double the amount of time in front of clients, and have a unique offering. Know what you don't know. Speak to experts as much as possible. Be confident in your abilities. This is a story I love from Dan Kennedy. So he was consulting with Weight Watchers, and the CEO of Weight Watchers takes him aside into the private room and says, "Listen, Dan, love your work, but someone's just let me know that they're paying you 10 times more than they're paying me." And Dan said, "Yes, that is true. You are great at every part of running a business apart from getting customers. And without that part, the rest of the business doesn't exist. That's why people pay me." And that was it. And then he carried on working with them. So be confident in your abilities and the value you can bring. Now, obviously, that's an extreme example. But when you're challenged, you need to be able to say why people should pay you. I'm going to drill through 20 questions you should ask before validating your idea. Some would say these are basic, but most people fail on them. So as ever, the slides are going to be sent out immediately after this talk, so you don't have to write them down. But what problem are you solving? How have others attempted to solve this problem before, and why did their solutions succeed or fail? You know, you're doing a gin company. You know, you come to me. I'm going to hook you up with a failed gin company and get you guys to speak and see what you can learn from it. How many specific benefits for your product or idea can you list? Can you state in clear language the key features of your product or service? Does your idea already exist in the same way you were going to create it? Who are your potential competitors? What key features do I have that others will have a hard time copying? This is great for particularly software as a service, marketplace, tech companies. If it's an agency or personal brand, you better have a unique angle for your personal brand. Have you done a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats? Do you have access to the various resources you need to launch a business? Do you have a mentor or industry advisor you can call on? Can you name somebody who would benefit from your product or service? When I have a business idea now, if I can't write down 15 people who would buy it on day one, I normally don't start. What is the size of the market you buy your product or service? Have you reached out to potential customers for feedback? Again, seems obvious, so few people do it. Can you set up a landing page and encourage others interested to sign up for more info? What would it take to build a minimum viable product to test the market? Can you get paying customers from your target market to pre-order based on a blueprint or mock-up? This is why Kickstarter is so amazing. Can you produce the actual product yourself, or do you have a partner who can? Do you have distributors or partners to help you scale your business? What will it take to break even or make a profit? And how can investors in your idea make a profit? Again, I know that was a lot of information, but the few of you who do go through this will find these are very challenging questions, which will sort of shake the fundamentals. Like I had this client who was going to do a huge deal with me, and as part of my client onboarding, I gave her these questions, and I don't know why I should tell you this, but yeah, these questions were so fundamental they had to change the entire product. I was kind of thinking, maybe in a parallel universe I wouldn't have asked them, but these questions really change worlds. So general strategy you need in your life: present yourself as a brand, or indeed your company as a brand. So I'll be talking both about personal brands, and I know some of you in the group are running brands such as marketplaces. So yeah, so I'll talk about both. When you present yourself as a brand, you get to command higher rates, you're respected, and you eliminate your competition in the mind of your ideal consumers. So one example of this is writing a book. So you're in a sales call with someone, and then a common line of the CEO's heard of your book, they'll be like, of course this person's trustworthy. They literally wrote the book on it. Don't be a pushover. So like I'm quite reserved with clients, so speak your mind and don't let clients troll all over you. Don't be arrogant, be very humble. Focus should drive your brand. In regards to what you offer, projects you're currently working on, clients you're pursuing, just focus. Admit you don't know everything. Web designers can relate to this. Although it's good to have the problem-solving attitude, sometimes it just saves time by admitting you don't know everything. You'll be surprised the clients will actually appreciate and trust you more for this. It'll also save you tons of time researching. Be thirsty for knowledge. This came easy for me, but I didn't acknowledge it until later. But constantly sharpening your brain with your industry trends, reading books, the right Facebook groups, and asking and answering questions will enhance your knowledge. Say no to more things. You could always say no to more things. Elon Musk says about Tesla, we only ever do things that benefit the company. For instance, we never do advertising or marketing. So we only do the things that make the product better, and it will sell itself. Never work for free. To begin with, if you're completely starting out, do a few free projects that build your reputation, but that's all it should be. From then on, respect yourself and charge accordingly for your services. This, again, is like long onboarding calls. Avoid them. Always have a contract. Have the 80-20. Don't let a client control 80% of your income. Should they drop the project, it will sting. And if you don't know how to get more clients through replacement, then your business is in trouble. Set your work hours. Use time tracker software on yourself. We can always be better at this, but always start at a baseline. Save money. You don't want to take on a project because you're desperate for money. Save and get to pick the clients you work with by spending less. Easy to forget about taxes, but you've got to pay them. Always have that aside and spend more on things like mentors and leveling up so that you don't have to pay so much tax. Being your own boss means you now have employees to manage, so selecting the right team members is hard. If you sense red flags early on, drop them. So most things in this course are going to be data-led, but I tell you, people, it's always about your gut feeling. Your client is your new boss. You get to dictate the terms of the relationship. So you can fire the boss if they anger you in some way, if they're not essential to you, but always set the terms on day one so they know where they are. Arm yourself with time-saving tools. You quickly realize you are the CEO, project, social media, marketing manager, accountant. There's tools for almost anything business-related. Don't be cheap either. Pay for tools. It's an investment worth protecting. Take real time off. Shut down your engines. Project doesn't start until the deposit's cleared. So the best example of this is saying to them, hey, if you're on an airline, you wouldn't pay afterwards. This is a service. Final deliverable is not available until final payment is cleared. So if you're a web designer, you keep the website on your server, and then if you turn it, and then if they don't pay, you turn it off. You'll be amazed how quickly that money comes over. Get out and network the right way through public speaking. Work with goals, set scary goals, and then achieve them, and then move on. So again, basic stuff. Most people don't do it. So there are only 3 ways to grow a business. Increase the amount of clients, increase the average transaction value, so the size of the sale, or increase the frequency of purchase or repurchase. And this is something you should bear in mind as we get into the more systemized elements of this. So occasionally something happens in the client's life and they had to cancel. For everything else, it is your fault. Call in email all expired clients. It's been a year since we last did business. Is there anything that's wrong or anything we can help you with? This can reactivate up to 50% of people who have left your company. Cutting attrition rate will increase your business, 10% or more. Not getting referrals, there's something wrong with the quality, credibility, or perception of your product, or you're inhibiting people from giving referrals, normally not asking them. There's many ways you can refer more business, but if you get those referrals rather than using other marketing, they will buy faster, more, and won't negotiate as much. 3 Ways of Growing a Business by Bill Phillips. Make it a regular part of your agenda. Have somebody present plans to grow your business at least once every 6 months. Have somebody you can bounce ideas off at least twice a year. Introduce a new product, service, or alliance each year. Make 1 or 2 acquisitions a year. This could be of an Instagram account. So let's say you're in the dog niche. You could just acquire a very popular dog account, and then you have thousands of dog followers at your hands. And then you can sell them products while you give them memes and so on. So it doesn't have to be whole companies, but you can acquire Twitter accounts, Instagram accounts, Facebook pages, email lists. All of these things can massively grow your company. Pretty much one of the few guaranteed ways of growing a company is buying someone else's customers. The 5 marketing errors everyone makes. People mess up headlines, test everything. You don't have an articulate or differentiated business. Most people have no clue what differentiates them from competitors, why their customers buy from them instead of their competitors, or they'll give nonsense ideas like quality or service. Doesn't really mean anything. Not having a back-end tiered service for clients, which I'm going to get into having a back-end presently. Not understanding your clients and services. It's so important to realize that what you think is valuable, your client may not. So we talk about educating people out of their business problem. You can't just solve it by cutting your price. People won't buy things unless they appreciate them. If you try and compete on price, you compete with Walmart and Amazon. So a simple illustration of this point, if you said to someone, would you like to buy my Porsche for $60,000? Maybe. Now you reframe it. Would you like to buy my Porsche for $60,000? It's worth about $100,000, and I've only had it 3 months. I've had it souped up, and I've already got 5 other people who are interested in buying, but they can't pay for another 2 weeks. You see how that hits so many more points by giving them more data and framing it in a slightly different way. So there's always ways of framing even normal goods to make them sound amazing. So 4 steps to a happy client. Define your client. That's the beginning of any strategy. You've got to create an experience for them. So this isn't when they're making a sale. This is them joining your community. This is their thank you page. This is your email where you send them a funny picture of a dog. This is every touch point. Is the overall experience, like you're inviting them into your house. Develop and plan a strategy, and you'll be able to use a lot of the stuff that I'm about to give you in the next 20 minutes, and execute. So this is the last round of questions, I promise. So this is the whole strategy section and the pricing section of all of these webinars, so you have them. Who's your direct competition? Describe your positioning in the market and why it makes you special. How do you sell? How do you know how well you're doing? What are your offers to entice people to buy? What does your website do better? Why do people buy from your competitors and not you? Why do people see your price differently? Why is your price different to others? How does your product perform better than others in the market? Do you know the mindset of the perfect prospect? My mindset is they're just one growth hack away from success. That's the key concept over copy. What are the alternative solutions available? What are the current trends? Where's the opportunity right now no one's taking advantage of? This is often overlooked when you're head down in your laptop. And again, looking at your competition. So this is the single most important thing I can teach in sales. I've gone to billion-dollar companies and just expanded this over a day, and they've been amazed. So this is a value ladder. This is how you want your business to run. So at the bottom of the value ladder, you give out something for free. Maybe it's free content, maybe it's a free webinar, free ebook, maybe it's a free toy if you're in the dog niche, or whatever it is. Then you want to have a low-cost item. So a free book, they just pay the shipping, or a $7 webinar, or whatever it is. So your lowest price items, so people are comfortable with giving you their credit card details and getting massive value. Then you want to have the next level up. It might be you're offering them more expensive products. It might be a more expensive webinar. Whatever it is, the customer service must improve here. And then all the people who bought from that, you want to move them up to the next level, which is maybe enterprise selling. Maybe done for you service if you're an agency, rather than we tell you what to do over Skype. Maybe it is masterminds. But you've always got to be moving people up this. So software as a service works great for this as a continuity. So people sign up for the $20 a month, and eventually you want to get them to the higher level. You can make 90% of your money from the high levels. But this is the single most important thing. So another question, how are you going to make $1 million? And this is literally the first question you should ask yourself when you start a new company. And that sounds daunting. So here's how you break it down. 10 customers who pay you $100,000 a year. So this is like super high coaching, super high enterprise. 100 customers who pay you $10,000 a year. So they're paying you $1,000 a month for something, for instance, with a 10% attrition rate. $1,000 from 1,000 customers. Now it really starts to feel like I can get 1,000, and I can get them to pay 1,000, $100 a month for 10 months, or $100 from 10,000 clients, or $10 with 100,000 customers. I think $50 times 20,000 is one of the best here. But you can see how with whatever you're doing, this is just all math that will get you to $1 million. For most companies, it's actually going to be a mix of all of these. So you're going to pick and choose which ones work, and then which ones go better. So, for instance, the free level, emails, followers, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, community like a Facebook group. You gather by producing a lot of content, more on this in Content Marketing Week, and then getting their attention. The first step to whatever company you're running, you have to get attention before you can sell. It's half the battle. So for instance, a $50 product, it could be an ebook or video course, possibly launch it on Kickstarter for hype reasons, and the network effects will offset the card fees. The prestige of successful Kickstarter and good for telling clients and PR. People associate successful Kickstarters with $1 million, so no need to tell them you only reached four figures. Now you have a customer list for the next level. Your most important asset is people who have bought from you. So this could be a deluxe package of books and webinars, a deluxe package of the products you sell on your website, your software as a service offering, a group webinar with Q&As, group buys of physical goods, discounted packages, upsells from the last level or repeat purchase from people who bought something over and over. $1,000 times 1,000 customers could well be a subscription club for around $85 a month. So regular value, such as webinars with smart guests, constant unique new content, giveaways, discounts. So if you're in the over 40s niche, this is why I say, do you know your customer inside out? If you can get them discounts on the stuff they love, if you can create content around the things they're scared about, such as not having enough money to retire and so on, if you create bespoke packages around that, they will pay you for it. You are providing a legit, awesome service that they need. This could be 1 month's mid-level coaches carried out by someone else, because you're going to need a lot of people for this. Your own personal growth expert, your own personal recruiter who helps find you work, for instance. Follow your scripts and methods, and then control the clients tightly. Getting companies to buy multiple group buys if you sell products, and group coaching packages. There's so many ways to slice this pie. $10,000 times 100 customers, clients on retainers all year with about a 10% cancel rate. We'll likely need a team to carry this out, especially if you're coaching. Sub-mastermind groups could be done for this price, slightly upselling your long-standing customers. You'll need serious prestige or PR or testimonials or a strong community to be able to get clients doing this. Year-long mentorship packages, and getting a physical package into distributors, partners, and affiliates. Finally, the elephants, enterprise selling, face-to-face meetings to get your products into stores, or really knowing your client well and flying them to a mastermind somewhere beautiful. Extremely likely you need a sales team to operate this process smoothly. Major joint ventures and launches with globally known names and brands. Setting up entire businesses that you can loosely oversee, so supplements and agencies such as copywriting or Facebook ads, a coaching business, or getting into high street stores with your brand. One key when you're starting out is to plan multiple launches. So one reason people don't buy is you're saying the same thing every week. Plan for an occasional big launch, such as a book or a course. You get a big spike of cash, and that can carry your working capital for the next 1, 2, 3 months. You're free to upsell lightly in each email, but your emails should generally be 90% entertainment, 10% selling, and that means that when you have a launch, you can be a bit heavier on sales. So if you've seen me talk live, you'll know about this. It's real simple. Just plan out every customer. So just make an estimated guess how you're going to get customers in the top of your funnel. You know your business better than anywhere else. You hire a marketing consultant, they're just going to give you what's worked for other people. So it's up to you to look at what your competitors are doing and do the research yourself. So Twitter could be Facebook paid ads, Instagram paid shout outs, real life hustle, you could fly at every co-working space. Viral factor, you're going to invite 2 people. PR, you're going to reach out to 50 blogs, expect 20% to convert. Events, you're going to organize a meetup, invite 100 people, expect 50 to convert. So this means that if one layer you're relying on doesn't work, your company isn't dead on arrival. So here's your first homework. And I wish this was the end of the session, but we're actually just getting started. This is the big session. I mean, it's so awesome to be here. So much good stuff. I haven't even got to the unique stuff that I'm writing just for you guys. So, plan how you're going to get to $1 million. Feel what it's going to like when you get there. This is important because this isn't about being money motivated. It's about having that vision in your mind. And if you have the vision, it will drag you through. And I also want you to plan the channels you might need to use to get here. And I want you to email this to me or Kyle. Just tag us both in. And yeah, this is your first homework. There is more to come, but this is one of the nice parts. This is you projecting into the future. This is you time traveling as a millionaire. It's a pretty fun activity. So, quick thoughts on negotiation. The first key in negotiation is to come to the table with lots of demands. Generally, who or she who has the most wins. So even if they negotiate you down to most of them, you can leave the ones you really want. Look unimpressed with initial offers. This is like the whole poker face thing. I found myself doing that a lot recently as the affiliates I'm working with have gotten bigger. Understand who has the power in any relationship and act accordingly. So someone with 120,000 email list in my niche said to me, we will promote your secret source book. We're only going to give you 30% of the money. I have no power in that relationship. If I say no, they just go to the next person. I have people banging on their door. It's one of the biggest companies for affiliates. So so we said yes, and we're in talks with them now. But we had no power in that relationship. So in that relationship, it wouldn't really have served us. All of their companies that they worked with got the same. There was nothing we could do there. But in many where you set the laws, act accordingly. Tim Ferriss radio and magazine ad play. If you want to get mainstream press or radio, it's good because they often charge less and they're not as high competition as other things. So what you need to do is find when they're closing. So when the radio station closes their ads for the month or the magazine is about to go to print, that's the first call. Thinking of advertising, when's the last day for this month? And I'll say, okay, Friday 19th. Friday 19th, you call up at lunchtime and you say, oh, hey, I was interested in buying an ad. How much is it? And when they tell you, go, oof, that is way more than I was thinking. And then they would be like, well, what would you want to do? I'd be like, look, I don't know. How low could you go? And what's the deadline? And they'll say, I don't know, this time. And then, come back 15 minutes before that deadline with a lower offer. They have to fill that space in the magazine. They have to fill that space on the radio. So you will get the best possible deal. And Tim Ferriss did this for many of his launches. Remember, working capital is God and act accordingly. Play by their rules only until you can make your own. I am successful as I laid up a lot of small things over and over at each stage of the six-figure companies I was talking about at the start of this webinar. So, working capital is good. Accept less, but never ever accept bad clients. All right, we're getting to the immediate systems to implement. So why do I say working capital is God? It stops you from doing everything you need to grow. In an ideal world, you would just have money and you would hire people to do everything. It causes stress, which paralyzes you from taking massive action. This is like a major cause of my personal development. Genuinely, I just think it's because when my agency started to hit peak and I knew I wasn't going back to welfare, I could do speculative things like fly to America to give talks. I'd like to think I got more confident as an entrepreneur. Honestly, I just think it's because working capital got better. Knowing your numbers is important, and that will tie into everything else. So this is your next homework. And this is something I learned from my mentor, Dexter and Tina. What is the single quickest way you can get cash in the door? For some of you, this may be users because you're chasing investment money, but the same principles apply. And then design a system to make this happen fast. Again, it sounds obvious, so few people do it. Come up with a single quick way you can make money and execute it in the next week. That is the homework. It's so genius. That's it. And I know what you're going to say, well, that's easy for you to say. That's obvious advice. Of course, you want to make money. Give us some examples. So here you go. So let's say you're building a community for over 40s. I would create an immediate mastermind, £300 per month per person, to do group calls or private coaching to give career and well-being advice, if that's what that niche wants. 10% to 20% of your audience always can afford it. And may or may not be a caveat, this is why I believe in communities. If you build a community, you have this constant pool of people who will buy things at different pricing levels. But if you had a small community, that would work really well. Recruitment business. Invent affiliates for past businesses, businesses who are looking to hire and prospects who are looking to get jobs, to put the word out for others and give them a healthy percentage. So if you're in recruitment, that's what I would do. I would, reach out to them and say, hey, I have nothing to sell. Just if you can bring me, we work together. I hope you enjoyed it. If you can bring me people, I'm going to give you a fat check. Why is affiliates amazing? They do all the work for you. The leads just show up in your inbox. Don't worry about losing slightly less. The key is to get emails and clients. Once you have those, you can build. Let's say you're running a tea brand. Find everyone who did a paid ad for hashtag skinny tea or fit tea, see which post with that tag got the most engagement, and offer them to do paid ads because they've already validated that this market likes this. I'm friends with the founder of this company. She is absolutely killing it. So yeah, that's what I would do. You can already just reverse engineer which post did other people do, which post got the most engagement, thus they were worth working with. Go and find the prices. You know they do shout outs, so go to it. Let's say you're building a funnel hacking agency. I would find companies you know that have no budget, so not startups, that have some budget, so not startups ideally. I would identify places you can improve their funnel, so your copy should be better here, this takes too long to load, you didn't send me an immediate email, and send them a free report and say there's more, and if they want to jump on a call, you can tell them. So it's so much easier to work with companies that already have a working model, and you can just optimize it and make the money quicker than working with companies who are starting out from zero and then you are their god or they're ruined. They rely the whole lot on you. This is the argument for getting later stage clients than early stage. I know it's tempting to get early stage when we're starting out, but this model is great because bigger companies tend to have smarter people working for them who will see the value in this. Let's say you're building a marketplace for dogs. I would find the top dogs and dog brands on Instagram, so use tools like Social Blade for engagement stats, and offer them super healthy affiliate offers on your items with the highest margins. So the items you know that you make the most money on, only offer them to sell those, via their dog Instagrams and so on. Let's say you're building a marketing agency. I would book a lot of public talks as soon as possible. Invite your target market by cold email. Very underrated strategy. And again, with a lot of these, I'm going into more detail in the next few webinars. Is just to fire or something you guys could start immediately. Let's say you're building an SEO agency. Find sites with bad SEO that you can get an intro to, or personally. Whip up a quick report and send it to them, possibly by post as a golden hello. And this is the first time I'm going to break out of this presentation. This is something amazing you can do. So I know a lot of you are thinking, yeah, but these people are quite hard to get to. This is what I would do for that. This is lumpymail.com. Make a note of this. They do some amazing stuff. And what they can do is you put your pitch on a scrunched up piece of paper. You just send them the email of what you want the pitch to say. Then they will put it inside a plastic trash can and send it to them as a box. So you can put in, before you throw this in the trash, you should understand that, our agency can help you with this, this, and this. It doesn't cost that much. It's like $10 to send one of these. And yeah, it has amazing pickup rate. So if you need a few clients who are going to pay you a whole lot of money, I would recommend doing lumpymail.com. So with SEO, if you get an SEO retainer client, that's a huge amount of money. So you can afford to send a lot of these lovely trash cans out in order to get attention. Attention is half the battle. So if you're doing an SEO agency, that's what I would do for that. So let's say you're building a dieting plan business. What I would do for that is offer free phone consultations to fix people's diets and spread this offer in Facebook groups. So just starting out, looking for testimonials, I want to write bespoke diet plans for you on the phone. And then, you would get the testimonials, or you could upsell them on the call, or you could just, get them introduced to you and see how they can help you. Maybe you could swap it for a Facebook share or an email list shout out. But yeah, I would offer free phone consultations. You're thinking, but I don't have the time. You do. If you have 0 clients, you have time to speak to clients. You'll find out, bits of secret sauce come together when you spend a lot of time in your target audience. You might think, I'll just find one in traffic and copy or another Facebook group, or I'll find one on Product Hunt. Very occasionally, but pretty much it's normally you piece lots of different things together and you make something unique. Say you're educating construction workers to embrace a virtual world. I would create a fun viral video about construction using Fiverr.com. So lots of memes about, I don't know, whatever the viral memes are. Construction, hopefully not wolf whistling, eating unhealthy food, safety. I honestly don't know what the construction memes are, but yeah, I would target construction workers using Facebook ads and retarget everyone who watches the video. If your lifetime value of a client is big, you can spend more on the Facebook ads. Let's say you're building a new makeup brand. I would create a devastatingly shareable quiz exposing how bad other brands are for your skin and design it to be shared on Facebook. Shock horror, these brands are awful for you. So your cost per acquisition of email goes through the floor because every time someone shares it, it costs less. Let's say you want to build a personality brand. I would coach people for free in return for a testimonial, or do an accountability challenge with someone. My mentor, Dan Meredith, gave me this idea. You make sure they hit their goals, and then they say, he was amazingly motivating and helped me do it. Or create an ebook and push it to your audience. Charge $29, $49 and see what happens. The worst that can happen is, no one sees the posts, and then you can do another one in 3 weeks and people won't really realize. Let's say you want to expand a Facebook group to a real-world community. Let's say it was in San Francisco. You want to expand it to LA. You could offer hot seat coaching calls on how to build a community and charge people $100 or $300 an hour, depending how much authority you have to do it. You could even live stream those calls if the other person's happy for that, and that could become content too. Let's say you want to get more bookings for your events company. I would find the hyperactive people who put on events via scraping Eventbrite. Find their phone numbers. Yes, it's possible. There's ways to do it. As one of the bonuses for this group, I'm going to put you guys in touch with someone who can get anyone's phone number. Then call them up and pitch them why they should use you. Offer them first use at 80% discount. If they are a regular buyer, you'll get that money back 10 times over. If you're building an information marketing company, invent a course. Don't make it yet. Just invent the idea and what will be in it. Put it out to your email list and see who bites. If they do, build the course. Pre-selling it saves you so much time. Let's say you're building a gin by post company. Follow all the followers of rival gin companies and like them on Facebook to see their Facebook ads, so like the Facebook pages. And hit everyone who replies with an immediate offer or lifetime discounts. If you can find a company who was shut down in the space, offer to buy their email list. This is insanely underrated for all companies. Building a new travel site. Find all the subreddits people who love travel are talking about. Where do they gather? Create a one-page website where you send out travel offers, buy Reddit ads, or do posts, and see if other people sign up. Likewise for Facebook ads. If you're building a social media agency, offer a free social media review call to your email list, and upsell them once they see how much you can help them. Also, public speaking, book those talks as soon as possible. Let's say you work for a help desk software company. I would get all of your old emails. Let's say it's a legacy company which has thousands and thousands of emails. Reactivate them using drip emails. So, hey, notice, have you seen our new features? You should check this out. Phone calls or retargeting pixels. So hit them with Facebook ads if for whatever reason not replying to emails. So you can see how whatever the type of your company, there are always ideas for you to get quick cash in the door. So again, I don't lean on the welfare benefits thing because it's a nice narrative, like I'm on Oprah. I lean on it to tell people that that's where I was. I'm no genius. It's just like hard work and secret sauce, which has kind of got me here. So you're only as limited as what you think about. So here comes another system. How to make money online with an internet marketing business. I know we've gone over the hour. It's kind of ending soon, but I'm having a lot of fun. Let me know in the Facebook comments if you're enjoying this. Thank you so much for staying. I appreciate it. I hope you're loving it. And there's more systems to come. And these are the checklists which are going to be in the PDF that's going to be sent out. So this is your model. This is a system you should follow if you're building an internet marketing business, or what I call an IM business. So that is one where it's generally based around a personality brand. You sell coaching, consulting, ebooks, courses, webinars, mentoring, masterminds. And this can be broad to every type of business. So grow a community or email list, presumably via a lead magnet to get the emails. Build a funnel with an autoresponder sequence. So as soon as they put their email in, they're going to get sent 9 to 12 different emails that are all automatically put in there using software like autopilothq.com. I use SendGrid. They should have a $7 product, which you can either hit them with straight away or hit them on the 4th email, so they become indoctrinated into your world. So tell them a little bit about yourself and then hit them with a $7 product so that they get free value. They got loads of value from the lead magnet, and they're like, well, this is only $7. Sure. Then they get amazing value from that. Then you want to hit them with a slightly better offer. Sprinkle 2 free ebooks or webinars in here for maximum customer delight. A $97-ish core product, such as a video course with a downsell. The best product here is a continuity, so a private subscription club where they get hot seats with you, they get a private Facebook group, a private website with lots of content. That's the idea, because then you have a guaranteed minimum income. Eventually a $2,000 or so course or private mentorship. Create high tickets, so $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000, and invent products every day. It's known as giving yourself a raise every day. So every day, send out an email with value, and then at the bottom of it, just a PS. Oh, if you wanted to learn sales, I put everything I know, and I put it in this course for like $69. What you need to do the system is the ability to create engaging content and a little ClickFunnels expertise. So that's the first system that you can follow to a great business. If you're thinking that's a little short, most of this is going to be fleshed out in this course. This is just purely a system that you can print out, pin up on your wall so you have it. If you're in this niche, this is the system to follow. So let's say you're building an agency. Firstly, book lots of public talks. So we have a session coming up towards the end of the course on how to do this, but you should start now. Like I always say, if you see my talk, you've heard this before, go on Meetup and Eventbrite, find all of the talks and meetups in your niche, and then join them and send them all the same message. I'm a big fan of your Meetup. I want to come and give a talk on 10 ways to be better at your job, 10 ways the industry is changing, 10 secrets to our industry. I've got a massive network I can invite. Just say that, they never check, and then copy and paste that to every single group organizer on Meetup and Eventbrite. You'll get talks. It's as simple as that. Agencies are best to get people paying you a high amount of money, and from that you will get a very quick return because people walk up to you afterwards and say, I need you, how much do you cost? Honestly, it happens so much. So you want to collect emails of your talks and offer them lead magnets or free consultancy power-up calls. Start with coaching if you must to get money in to support the other bits. Invite people via Twitter and Facebook groups. Yep, pretty self-explanatory. Ask for referrals aggressively. Work with charities and non-profits early on for free in return for testimonials. Honestly, I would seriously build out your personal brand. Building out your core story, be the face of the agency, produce a lot of content, because in particular, I mean, if you're building a software as a service or a marketplace, there's a chance you're going to be somewhat unique. But agencies, if I don't hire you, it's the very definition of there's 10 other people doing exactly the same thing. But if I like you, if I believe in your expertise, you know, you will get my dollar. So I would seriously, if you're building an agency, I would take on everything I say about internet marketing. If you want to, don't sell the products, but you know, I would do that too. But everything I do about personality, brand, internet marketing, you must do if you want to build an agency that scales fast. Sign your customers up to 3-month minimum retainers and upsell them to new services you invent. So the value ladder model for agencies. System number 3 is a software as a service company, marketplace, or recruitment business. Firstly, create customer avatars. These are extremely essential here. Unlike coaching, where being good at business allows you to go quite broad. So like, because I've done a Kickstarter, I've done a venture capital company, I've done a copywriting agency, I've written a book, I've done an internet marketing company, I've got most things covered. You know, most businesses can come to me and I can pull something out and coach them on it. Or even building a community where the eager ones will basically find you when you make an offer. You've got to be laser precise if you're software as a service, marketplace, or recruitment. So reach out via cold email at scale. Find that lead is great. One of the bonuses, I'm going to give you guys 300 free emails a month. Again, this is all coming through in the next week. And invite them to an event or webinar, or invite them to a Facebook group, something very light, not salesy. You try and sell them in a cold email, you're dead. But if you just say, hey, putting on a free event, then that's value. Or I put in the Facebook group, came across your profile, think you may like it. The most salesy you could be is probably offering a lead magnet. This is risky, but like most risky things, I do it. Convert those leads via typical sales process. You know, you get them on the phone, you get them in real life. Create referral schemes so these leads multiply, and then rent lists or swap shout-outs with similar industry but non-competing companies. And this is a model. You know, we're all making it up as we go along, but you know, these free systems, you know, your company's probably going to slot into one of them and probably is going to take bits from all of them, but these are systems you can follow. So as an extension of the other homework, this is the Fight Club example where Brad Pitt takes the convenience store worker out and he says, I'm going to kill you. You are going to die, but you know, before you do, I want you to tell me what you would want to be if you could be anything. And he wanted to be a vet. So he said, how have you ended up here? And the guy makes excuses. So he says, look, I'm going to keep your ID, so I have your address. If you are not a vet within the next 6 weeks, I'm going to kill you. And it's so extreme. It's generally regarded as one of the best scenes in Fight Club because, you know, you can bet your ass that guy will be working to make his dream come true. In like 2011, when I was still like a crazy person, I somehow came across personal development by an Anthony Robbins pamphlet, and then I sort of looked it up on Spotify, and there was this great section that said, if someone put a gun to your head, said you know you have to make a lot of money, what would you do? And the very next day, I started selling concert tickets on eBay, and like I did margins on it, and I eventually fell away from it. But yeah, I made profit every single time I bought concert tickets. So similarly, I want you to come up with 3 ways you can make money in the next 7 days and execute on one of them. Then send us back what happened. Whether you win or fail, like I always say, it's not just the wins we want to hear. We want to hear all the action. You know, the action is going to be learning, and you're going to grow in confidence in multiple areas. So that is the next homework. So we are almost through. Thank you so much for listening. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Now I'm just going to break it down into the granular systems for you to do every month, every 2 weeks, every week, and every day in order to make money. So, month, check in or call back every old customer you have. Pick a product or service they may like and offer it to them. Worst they can say is no or ignore you. And people love people who go back over and over, you know, especially in the entrepreneurial business space. Ask 20 friends or family to give you referrals for new business. You know, they love you the most and are most likely to help. If you feel desperate, remember this is a good thing to have this desperation. You have to have it when you're starting out, this hunger. And if you feel insecure about asking friends and family for help, how the hell are you going to ask people you've never met before to be an affiliate, to work with you, to buy off you? You know, you have to get over this, you know, and this is, I've really got to labor this point, because if you don't get over things like this, the rest of the course, you know, it will inhabit you. So I want you to, you know, execute on this stuff. I know some of you are just learning this stuff slowly and may execute in future, and that's fine too. But if you're in a position where you need it, I urge you to really go for it. Plan how you can ascend customers up your value ladder, so inventing higher tiers, doing more follow-up calls, giving free gifts, you know, physical packages to the audience. Get back to people who cancelled or stopped using you and offer them a free ebook or gift or consultation. Maybe the timing's better now. List of 5 things you can do in the next month, most likely to make you money, and plan to do them. It's really that simple. You know, some of these ideas are new, some of them you may have thought about before, but how many of them have you done? And this is crucial. You know, everything else, the fun stuff like content and putting on events, that don't work if this don't work. So, I am Psychic. I know what you're thinking. What are some ideas for how we can make money? So, here we go again. Here are some ideas for internet marketing business, personality brand. So, you know, this is the exact text you can go ahead and put in your Facebook group or on your email list. I have some space for consultancy this month. Who wants a 1 hour? I call it a power-up call. Call it whatever you want. Call for $100 to $300 an hour. So it just depends how much authority you have, how much you can charge. Great for those who want your coaching but can't afford it. You know, they can't afford your packaging, but they want to get close to you and they want your exact feedback. It's a great hourly rate for you. And when the hour's up, you're done and you get back to work. To a certain extent, it's better to do these than run an agency where you have like $1,200 a month clients, because they are on your mind all month. Hey, numbers are a bit low. What are you guys doing? You know, stress. These work so well for me that I only do about 1 post a month because I don't have time to do them. But I could pull money out of thin air any day of the week using this method. Another one is half day or full day. Get your marketing, sales, recruitment, or PR plan together for the next 3 months. I'll come into your office. I'll give you my secrets. I'll introduce you to my contacts, and we lay out a plan together. Again, this is pending your influence level, but I charge $300 to $1,000 for this. You know, make up your own prices. You know, whatever you can get. You could glue 12 blog posts together and make an ebook and sell this for $49 to $99. You know, you put out a post and you presume people have seen it. They have not seen it. Only 7% of people who follow you on Facebook will see your posts, which is why you can do the same post over and over with a few weeks difference, and you'll get great engagement. Include bonus stuff to value stack, so discounts on stuff with relevant companies, extra ebooks or webinars. Put on a webinar and charge $49 to $99 for, you know, an hour and a half to teach people something. Launch a group coaching program. Charge as much as you can. I'd suggest $500 for a 5-week course to start with. then move up both the price and how long the course is, so not 1 month, but 2 or 3 months over time. You can also launch a year-long mentoring program, but be sure you want to do this. This is a big responsibility to be on call for a whole year. I've been thinking about this. I'm not sure I want to do it, but yeah, it's $2,500 up front, or make your own price, and 2 calls per month. You may need to be an authority first to get that price. But if you read all those and thought, I have no following, I can't be able to do them. Firstly, you can start way quicker than you think. And secondly, no one remembers your losses. No one knows when something fails. You're not going to say that sucked. They just hear about your wins. Secondly, that's what this course is for. I'm going to teach you all of the things to become an authority amongst a community. I just wanted to put the money-making capabilities up front so you can see how you'll make the money of the authority you'll need. So if you're an agency, how are you going to come up with ideas every day to make money? Invent the 1-hour audit, a Skype call where you go through the typical problems your niche has and how you could solve them, with them leaving with a clean bill of health and plan for the next month. Charge $200. Create a system that you can go to a company's office and implement pending your niche. So I'll sort out your Facebook ad traffic. I'll create 10 steps to a content strategy or social media strategy. Charge $1,000 or $2,000 pending your brand authority. Create a quiz or lead magnet which nudges them to realizing they have a problem or something they can improve and offer them solution via free consultant. Run a competition giving away a free 1-hour consultation for one of my experts. This is awesome because the only people who apply will be super hot prospects. And you can upsell the winner if they like what you do on the call, and they'll likely be super indoctrinated and like you. Finally, invent a low-price version of your service. You can sell this as an info product or webinar series to your audience who can't afford your main services. This is a great brand awareness tool also. Finally, if you're running a marketplace, SaaS company, or recruitment, do a flash sale. This always gets clicks. As long as you can keep break even, the whole point of an e-commerce company is to build your email list. So don't worry about your margins so much if you're starting out. You can resell to them over and over. Offer obscene percentages to affiliates to bring you customers. So like charge them, so that you only break even, because you want to get those emails and those customers. It's so much easier once you have that. Pay or offer services in return for a shout out on complimentary companies lists, also bloggers and PR. Create a lead magnet or piece of content, drive traffic to it, make sure your Facebook pixel is firing, then run ads to retarget people who've seen that page. Oh, I'm going quite fast. All right, thank you, Kyle, for letting me know. Right, I need to slow down. Sorry about this. I just made this an extra long session. Yeah, you guys will get all the slides and the cheat sheet. But yeah, I need to slow down. I guess I get quite excited in these talks. So yeah, doing a flash sale will always get clicks. If anyone runs a clothing company, they can make £5,000 every single time they do a flash sale. Easy money because they built an email list. So if you build that, don't worry about your margins because you just have to get the email list. That's one thing I wish I did sooner, because if you don't have an effective email list, then you can't really sell. If you have a Facebook group, you will certainly get attention, but I found that it doesn't sell nearly as well as email list. An email list, people are more in a buying mindset when they email. Maybe because they're in work mode. And now, if you get on Facebook, well, you're in between 2 memes, a dog wearing a shirt or jeans, and that's great content. Now you want to distract me and talk about work stuff? Nah, I don't want any more work stuff. But when you email, you're like, right, I'm going to get my company together. Let me know you can still see my screen if you're viewing it live. Yeah, if you if cold email is something that you're doing, I would recommend being super aggressive. So by that, I would increase it 10% a week. I just hired my cold email guy in San Francisco. We're just testing right now. We're seeing, what we can get away with, what people are responding, what people are replying, and we go and turn it up to, 10,000 a day. it is legal, generally speaking, worldwide to email companies if you're a company. Canada's a little more tricky. Canada brought in a new rule which is kind of opt-in, but everywhere else, it's legal to do it. I mean, do you really understand the ramifications of it's legal to cold email anyone? Just let that sink in. Yeah, so I mean, we're going through cold email. It has its own week. I just thought I'd give you a shout out early. Okay, so moving on with more systems. Every 2 weeks, get in touch with all current clients at the midway point in the month and ask if they're satisfied. Now, part of you is going to say, oh, but we can get away with not doing it and they're probably all right. Yeah, but they'll cancel and then you lose money. If it, ask them, is there anything they're not getting and anything you can do for them? This will reduce cancellations as you'll nip problems in the bud. So, you're consulting with someone and they're like, to be honest, I'm not really like the content you've been putting on our social. I wasn't sure whether to bring it up. You would put an immediate 180 on that and say, right, let's jump on a call. Okay, you didn't like the humor. Okay, let's go with more animals and more business stuff. They're like, great, thanks so much. And then they feel listened to. So yeah, it'll reduce cancellations as you'll find the problems a lot earlier. And it provides a great opportunity for upsells too. Just be like, well, what do you guys need? What are you not getting right now? How's business otherwise? You can invent things on the spot and execute. Every 2 weeks, you want to check how much money you've made. Look for trends, what is working, and are you on track to did you make more money than the last month? Meditate on this. The accountants in the group will probably hit me on the head with this, but I run by my bank statement, Metro Bank. That's what I run by, because that's plainly what's come in and what's come out, and people say, oh, but there could be payments that are late and so on. But that's what I like to run to because it's real clear, and if that runs out, you're dead. So every 2 weeks, check how much money you've made. And then you're going to look at the trends, you're going to see what's working, you do more of that or less of that. Every 2 weeks, check what your costs going out are and if any can be stopped or reduced. I.e., could you get that software free if you shouted them out or referred them people? There's many ways to cut costs, and it's a problem most companies have. So every 2 weeks, check that. Every 2 weeks, send physical letters or gifts to your key prospects who could change your business and life if they sign up. Sounds manual, yes. That's why no one does it, and that's why you're going to stand out if you do it. Yeah, we'll find a UK equivalent of that American site. I don't know if I can find it right now, but I'll have a look for it. Do a quick audit of what you've been doing that could be taught, outsourced to another member of staff. Every 2 weeks, do this. These could include checking in with clients to make sure they're happy, invoicing, admin, creating customer delight, sending them memes and so on, managing your coaching clients, collating articles for ebooks. This is the automation in this case. So some of you are going, the systems are great. Where's the automation? Sorry, guys. CEO needs to be the head of sales until $10 million in revenue. I know you guys are like, I'll hire a salesperson. It just never works. With a small 1, 2, or 3 person company, the salesperson is not going to have that fire. When you start to get the 5 people plus, it starts to work out more, but only if you have laid out, again, a system for them to sell to. But even then, for the most part, you should be doing the main part of the selling and then passing leads on to the salespeople. Okay, now we get to the systems for every week. Study your funnel and see where you can improve. Do people drop out at a certain point? Why don't customers stay with you longer? It's far harder to get new clients than to retain old ones. So yeah, there's a few of you in the group are conversion experts. So yeah, drop in what you're looking for, and Kyle can help. I think Simon too. Brainstorming 1 hour per week how you can get more leads in. This could be a full team thing where everyone is in the meeting and pitches in ideas and it all comes together. One of the top, I wouldn't call him a growth hacker, he's kind of a mergers and acquisitions guy I met at a Millionaires Mastermind. He says the number of ideas that come when the whole team is in one room and the receptionist goes, oh, I know someone who works at this radio station, we can get a good deal, and it saves a quarter because of revenue. So yeah, bring in your whole team for the osmosis ideas and they'll feel involved. Number 3, come up with ideas to grab emails, competitions, new lead magnets, putting on talks. Every email, I guarantee you, is worth $1 to $10 minimum lifetime value, so well worth the effort. So that will only increase the lifetime value. So every email you get, it's putting $1 in your pocket. So if you're getting a bunch of emails every day, it's just pure money. Every week, speak to 3 smart people, tell them what you're working on, ask what they would do if they were you to make more money, and ask why they think your idea is going to fail or you're not going to make money. So this could be just a Facebook message, this could be a Skype call. Speak to smart people. It's unbelievable what comes out. A lot of my so-called breakthroughs and the cool shit I bring you guys is from having conversations, with someone who just raised $2 million on Kickstarter, or someone whose company makes, $6 million a year, and this is how they do it. It's just constantly, the privilege of being with smart people. Consult your month-year plan and check if you're on track to achieve what you want. Be honest with yourself and change accordingly. You should have plans for the year, the plans for the month, and plans for the week, and then go into those. I had 3 goals for last year. I hit all of them. I have 3 goals for this year. I'm well on task to do them. So yeah, you have to have a month and year plan to anchor yourself to. And finally, almost the end. Thank you so much for staying 90 minutes. I promise you, they're normally 1 hour. This is an edge case because I want you guys to make lots of money. Every day, when you wake up, you should have a to-do list from the day before, but honestly, do this. Just think of the following sentence. If I don't do the following, the company will go bankrupt. What is that thing? So it's normally whatever gets the money in. It's just such a great place to start your day from. It's like the one thing that you need to do the most. It's not going to be getting press. It's not going to be writing copy unless it's a money post like the $250 consulting call. But that thing needs to be crucial, and that's a great way to start your day. Second thing you need to do every day: who am I waiting on hearing back from regarding sales? So affiliates, leads, potential partners. How can I follow up? So is it a Facebook poke or a nudge? Is it an email? Is it a phone call? But especially when they have more power than you, people just get busy. Don't take it for rudeness until they say a definite no. Just keep following up. That's like something I learned from my mentor Dan. Just keep following up. It's amazingly powerful. Am I working on the projects that are bringing in cash the quickest to meet burn rate? That is another question. Like, you have to balance short, medium, and long term. And honestly, only with the VinClancy.com launching about a month ago did I start to think long term. I've been short and medium for a long, long term. So it has to be about cash the quickest so that you can fund what you want to do. Then, are you working on project which will 5x to 10x the revenue if they come off? So big launches, major affiliate deals, long-term building of email lists. This is why I say I could be making more immediate money if I was consulting right now. I take on very few consulting clients. I've had consulting clients over $10,000 a month. Ain't that much work because most of my stuff's automation. But it's focus. I would much rather focus on these projects I'm working on now that will scale over time and are already starting to bring in remnant profit, passive income. So try and focus on the passive income and long-term things as soon as you can. One set outside your own comfort zone. It's amazing the yeses you can get, but you have to go outside what you've done before. And again, that's a really nice point to end on, and that's why I've kind of hit you hard with a hammer on this one. I've given you like an hour and a half, and I give you a ton of different things to do. Don't feel overwhelmed. Most of the courses aren't like this. Things like copyright, content marketing, social media, they're fun. They are fun to do. You're going to have an awesome time. You're going to really communicate who you are. This one's obviously quite serious because it's money. Yeah, they're not all this long. Yeah, thank you for making it through. And yeah, in the interest of transparency, here's what I chopped out. How to manage clients and general sales best practices. So I want to get you guys comfortable with getting the clients in first. And throughout, I'm going to tell you what I'm not giving you, and then I've left a space, and we can do a bonus webinar on whatever you want. Could be paid ads, so I'll just list here are the things that you know, I can speak about, or I can get someone else to speak about. Just choose what you want. But thank you so much for making it through. Let me know in the Facebook comments if you enjoyed it. And now I'm going to jump into your questions. This has been awesome. I really enjoyed doing this. Maybe I'll take this talk on the road. What does your content marketing agency change for articles now? James asks. So I don't run it anymore. I can tell you this: it was the most passive income I ever made. Honestly, I was literally just sending the invoice once a month. We had a few clients on a retainer. Content writing clients last ages, but I stopped doing it. So yeah, so I'm not really doing it. I'm considering doing a bit of copywriting myself for clients because I'm somewhat useful at it. More out of fun than anything. I shouldn't really be swapping time for money. Okay, so Yesim says, the point on getting things to the market quickly confuses me. If you make your first video and it's not very good, you give a certain image. Is it really better to get your first things out quickly? The answer to that is to go and look at who's the star in your industry. Could be Zoella, if you're in the makeup industry. Could be Tai Lopez. It could be Dan Meredith, my mentor. I love that guy. Just go and look on YouTube at their early videos. Were they amazing? No, they were not. The sound or picture was bad. They were boring. They waffled on for 20 minutes when they could have done it in 2 minutes. You only get better, particularly at things like making content, by doing it. Some things you should try not to mess up, like your website going down. That's pretty bad. But yeah, things like content, people only remember the good bits. So you just need 1 in 4 blog posts or videos to be good, and people will say, oh, yeah, they did great content. They'll just remember the good stuff. So absolutely, get things to the market quickly. James is asking what you meant by a document for qualifying clients or categorizing clients before working for them. What is the name of it so I can add to Accelerate folder? It's the questionnaire, success plan coaching I've been sending you all. Feel free to rip me off, I guess. I guess I should add, it'd be nice if you made your own questions, but I'm here at your service. So, so this is it's making them hard for it to work with you. You're not the person who's like, yes, I can speak right now. Do you want to jump on a call? They're like, yeah, I guess you're desperate for clients. Rather than, here's a questionnaire, fill this out. If it's valid, I will, if I feel we'll connect, I will set up a call for us. Like, I haven't done that with you guys because it's kind of generally been backwards. But some of you guys got the questionnaire before we went on, and then I could see where you guys were at so that I could see if it's relevant. Some people filled out the question and they weren't relevant, so I was like, this course is not for you. So, would you growth hack new users although you know your product has bugs without fixing them before you start growth hacking? In our case, it would set us back about a month. You've got to get it to market. Just get the one or two things that they absolutely adore, which you should know because you speak to your clients a lot, and just get them that, and then people will forgive you a hell of a lot of sins. Just get them the primary 1 or 2 things that they'll love. And if you don't believe me, just go and look at the case studies of any software as a service successful company or Facebook or anyone. It's almost always full of bugs. But yeah, the key things have to work. So yeah, absolutely just ship. Read the Lean Startup. Amazing book. Tatiana and James want to know where to buy accounts from. I can put you in touch. Probably best if you let me know your budget. I have a guy who I have 2 or 3 guys in the game. One main guy, just let him know your budget and the niche and how many followers you want, and he can sort it out. So for instance, a 1 million follower account in travel was going for $15,000 recently. So just work backwards from there. So let's say 120,000 followers you can get for $3,000 to $6,000. And this guy's good, and he'll grow it for you. And also, he's not cheap. He can grow Instagram accounts too, and make things go viral within Instagram. What's the best way to retarget people who've watched the video? This is within the Facebook ad platform. Kyle is going to know it better than me. This is what I would bring Kyle on. But we may do something deeper on paid ads, depending if you guys want it. Is there a UK lumpy mail equivalent? Almost definitely. I'll look into that. So yeah, with questions, if I don't know the answer, I will just say it. I'm not going to make things up on the spot. So yeah. When you say to follow everyone who follows competitors on Facebook, is there a way of following people as a business that I don't know about or we do personally? So for instance, your business or your personal could follow people who follow your competitors. You need to be a little more scientific about who you follow, because you'll end up following like bots and stuff. But yeah, on platforms like Twitter and Instagram, that follow technique is the one you should be doing. But they should have posted recently and they should be active and so on. As for a business page group, yeah, you can. Business page group really has to be grown through money. So you have to target the people who have liked someone else's page and meet other criteria. More questions. Should you not focus on side hustles? Well, I mean, I probably want to dive deeper into that question, but should you not focus on them? You should focus on not working full-time at a job you hate. That's the first thing. Focus on whatever you need to. So I guess your entrepreneurship becomes your side hustle. So focus on what you need to in order to do that. So cut your costs as dramatically as possible, and yeah, and then do it. One thing I say, and I should write an article on this. Kyle, remind me. There's just not enough entrepreneurs living on people's sofas and couches. That's really what it takes. And some of you have your family, you can't, but a lot of people are kind of single, or if you get rid of rent, that's the single biggest expense. I can well afford rent, but I am swapping growth hacking consultancy for rent right now. I've been doing it in London the last few weeks. I'm going to do it in LA when I go there. That $2,000 a month in rent could just go straight on Facebook ads, and then that's going to multiply my revenue. Is it discomfort? Sure, but that's what it is. So should not focus on side hustles. I mean, Entrepreneurship kind of is a side hustle, but try not to split your focus where possible. With things like internet marketing, coaching, giving talks, writing books, consulting, they all run into each other. But if you're doing a software as a service, or a marketplace, you've got to be so laser focused with what you can do, because you need so many people to sign up or so many customers for your thing. Should you build a speaking coaching business on top of a normal agency or startup? Yes. If you're trying to build a big agency, just use it to power the agency rather than for vanity. A little bit of stuff I do is for vanity, but it kind of plays into my brand. So just use it to do that. If you find yourself flying all over the world rather than doing work because you can give talks, that's probably not a good thing if you want to build a large agency. How much time should you devote to helping peers? It's a very good question. Firstly, the more successful you are, the more you can help. When I had no money and I was scrambling for pennies, I couldn't give any value. Now I write things every day to give out for free. 90% of people who read my stuff will never ever buy from me. My audience is just that big. So clear out time to do it. And the best way to help peers is to teach, is to create content, and then you get the myriad benefits of doing that. But yes, certainly put time to helping. What's the best way to cold email at scale without being caught as spam? I might bring John Buchan in for a guest session, or just maybe share his book in here. So it's not spam if you add value, and if you make people laugh, you can get away with a lot. I'm going to answer this in a lot more detail, Ross, throughout the course. But yeah, don't try and sell straight away. Offer value first. You can get away with a hell of a lot. I've got to outsource some coding, release my time. Where's the best place to find interns? Well, let's do this. If in a week's time we're doing the hiring one, if everyone just writes the short description of who they want to hire, I will do 2 or 3 posts in Traffic and Copy, and I will shout you guys out and tag you, and people can come to you directly. There's probably a ton of people you guys can use. So that can work for that. And like I say, building a community is amazing, because that's what you should be hiring out of. Simon asks, do you rate Filipino VAs? Onlinejobs.ph comes to mind. I have a person I use for VAs, virtualvalley.io. If you email Tom and say Vin Clancy sent me, he'll give you a discount. He'll give you some free hours, and like their English is at a basic level and they're not too expensive. That's nearly 3 hours of talking. Yeah, so I would use Virtual Valley. Yeah, we're coming to the end of the session. If anyone has any other questions, shout them in the Facebook. I'm going to speak more slowly. I promise you that was a longer session. Please don't feel overwhelmed. Kyle is going to send you the slides like literally in 2 minutes, so you can go through it at your own pace. The recording normally takes about an hour to process, and then you guys will have it. But thank you so much for into this. Please let us know how you feel. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the session. Yeah, and I'll be speaking slower. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Me and Kyle will be in the comments now. But yes, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to drink some water. So don't forget, tomorrow night is homework night, where we're going to go through this. Yeah, everyone's going to come in on the call. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. We're going to see each other's faces. We're going to be silly. We're going to ask serious questions. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Let me know how it was, and I'll see you same time tomorrow night. Bye.